Hello, this is Carrier from ColoringKaria, and look at this mess. This is just a mess of stuff and a cat of things that I am thinking about taking for my trip to Yosemite National Park, and all the things that I've sort of come to terms with, and some of the things that I just want to talk to you guys and talk you through my process of sort of picking out what stuff I'm going to take with me when I travel to Yosemite National Park next week in a few days. So today is Friday night going into Saturday. It's like 2 a.m. and I will be leaving Tuesday night from New York to Yosemite National Park. And it's going to be an insanely long journey. So we're gonna get from our house, we're gonna take the train to a shuttle that's going to take us to the airplane. From the airplane, we're obviously going to go cross country. It's a direct flight, thank God. From the direct flight, we are going to sit around the airport for a few hours and then take an airport shuttle to the bus station, where we will take an Amtrak bus to an Amtrak train to the Yurts shuttle that will take us to our hotel. And all of that is going to be in around like 20 something hours total actual travel time. So it's going to be a lot of time traveling, and then we're going to be in Yosemite National Park for 6 days, and then we're going to repeat the whole process in reverse. So it's a lot. So I sort of want to think this through and figure out what to take and all that other stuff. So so this is why I'm here, and I thought it would be fun to make like a little video out of it and talk about, you know, all the things to keep in mind when you're traveling, and some of the things that I learned last 2 years ago and the past 2 years like traveling. So anyway, so let's get started and talk about this. So first thing is, I have some coloring books. These are coloring books that I have reviewed, except for this one, which I just got from a fan this week. Thank you so much. I forget your username off the top of my head, but it's Ninja. I forget. I'm so sorry. It's 2 in the morning. I'm so sorry. I truly forget. I may have written it on the inside because I decided I was going to write it on the inside to remember. And I don't know if I ever actually got around to doing it. But this is a coloring book that I just got from a fan, so I haven't done a review yet. I'll do a review of this when I come back. But it does take watercolor pencil really well. This is Albictor watercolor pencil. And so the thing is, you know, like, do you want to take a full size? This is a full size coloring book. Do you like, this is hardbound, like this is serious, like you're not even playing when you take this with you. Then you can take a slightly just a softer cover coloring book, but still full size. Or you can take something like this with like little cute mini pages. I'm leaning towards taking this with the cute little mini pages. This is one that I did. I removed the binding for a video, and there'll be a link to that video where I did remove the binding. And I'm sort of leaning towards taking this one, but not exactly this one. I have another copy, since I use this for reviews and tutorials. I have another copy that still has the binding on it. I'm thinking about taking that one, but I haven't decided yet. So that's the first thing to think about, is to think about like how much space you want to devote to your actual coloring books, and basically that. So like the thing is, when like one thing that my friend Amy told me, who's a patron, Amy, she said, you know, that don't overtake too much because you might end up like feeling overwhelmed while you're there. So I'm not really sure. So so I'm leaning towards, if I do take a coloring book, this is the one that I'm going to take. So that's this with the coloring books. The next thing is to take paper. Now, if you just do adult coloring books and you don't do any of your own sketching, this section is not going to apply to you, and you could just skip to the next section. But paper is sort of like, you know, it could be anything from, this is literally a little mini book. It's 4x6, and it's so cute. And this may be one of the smallest like spiral bound artist sketching books that there are. But there's also, this is a 300-pound watercolor paper in a block, if you do watercolor painting. Then there's other various sizes. This is just a regular watercolor block. I don't even think this is cotton paper. Then you have your Stonehenge. Now something like this with the Stonehenge, which I have not yet done the full review, and I know somebody's waiting for the full review, and I'm so sorry I haven't finished the full review. The issue that I have with the Stonehenge is that it's not a spiral bound, and I think they do have a version that's spiral bound. So like as you work on sheets, the sheets fall off, and I think for me this is definitely going to be a hard pass because it's going to be too difficult to keep this in in order. So I'm probably not going to take any of this. I might take this block here. This block is the one I'm most likely to take. Even though this is 300-pound paper, I think this is just going to be too heavy for too little payoff because it is so heavy. And this is only 10 sheets now. Since I took one out, it's only 9 sheets left. So I'm unlikely to take this one. So most likely, if I take a block, it will be either this one, or this is the other option, is you can just take your full-size regular journals. These are my regular, my regular drawing things. This is for the Derwent Pro colors, which I'll talk about later. So this is something to keep in mind, to be able to take something like this. Or what I'm most likely to take is I'm most likely to take my multimedia journal. This is the one that I'm most likely to take because, as you can see from the testing that I've already done, this will take pretty much everything. You can use graphite, water soluble graphite, and so I don't have to think about anything. Watercolor pencil. I can just take this, and whatever I throw at it, it does, and it does well. So most likely, even though this is hardbound, this is probably going to be the one that I'm going to take, along with this is a huge block, or huge, it's not really huge. This is the smallest block from Arches that I saw, and I got this to do a review. And so if I took something like this is a block also, and those of you who are unfamiliar with blocks I really like. They do cost more than regular paper. The thing about blocks, and this is a good one to show you with, is that they will be glued down. Usually they're glued down on all 4 sides, and you have to use a knife or something to get it open. But in this case, they have this little section that's not glued down, and then you can stick whatever, a palette knife, or maybe even might even work with a credit card. Anyway, and then you can just remove the sheet, and then you don't have to worry about taping it down or anything. You could just put as much water as you want on it, and it will be fine. So this is another possibility of taking this block. I haven't decided if I'm going to take this block. I did buy it to take to Yosemite, but I'm not sure. This was also to test the Arches paper and to see how it does. Again, not sure about this. So, so there's that. The other thing, and I am certainly taking this. No matter what else I take, I'm definitely taking this one. Hold on, let me put all the other stuff aside. There's a lot of stuff. No matter what else I take, I'm definitely taking this. This is the Sennelier Urban Sketchbook, and I have only used it briefly to do these swatches here. So this is watercolor pencil, and this is watercolor paint. And this dissolved really nicely on the pencil. You can see I just did the pencil, and it did pencil. So that's probably what I'm going to do with these. And I'm definitely going to take it. And so what you can do is, when you're done, you can make like an accordion. And since I'm going to be at Yosemite National Park, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do sketches like while I'm there, and then when I'm done, it should be able to make like a panorama. So I'm definitely taking this, and this may be the only thing that I need to take if I want to do as much of this book as possible while I'm in Yosemite, and I'm not gonna hurt your ears doing that. So there's that. So, and this is a multimedia sketchbook. So just like the other one that you saw with the bigger multimedia one, is that this will take pretty much just about any medium that you throw at it. It's not going to be the best watercolor one, and it's not going to be the best graphite one, but it will take it, and it will let you use graphite, so you can just take it and have it be whatever medium you want to take. All right, so there's that. Next thing to keep in mind now, next thing is, if you are going to do adult coloring, you're going to need some sort of pencil sharpener. These are my preferred pencil sharpeners. They all use the similar blade that I've talked about, and there will be a link to, if I can do it before I leave and it doesn't take too long, there'll be a link to all this stuff in the description below. If not, I will add a link to it at some point when I come back or whenever. But anyway, so I will probably take this one only because even though I only have one of these, I will probably take this one only because this one, it will roll this way, but it's a little bit more steady than the bullet. So that's probably why I'm going to take that one. And then, so now you have your coloring. Now for your actual coloring, you can take pretty much anything that you like. If you want to do just graphite, you can take a 12 set or even a smaller 6 or 3 set of graphite pencils. I like this tin. This is the tin that I take when I do graphite at Starbucks, and I'm starting to use these a little bit more, and I do my little graphite sketches at Starbucks. This is the tin that I take. So if I do take any graphite medium, this is probably what I will take. So let me set this aside. Hold on, try to make a little bit more room. Next thing is you don't need to spend a lot of money on pencils if you just want to take, you don't want to take your expensive pencils to travel. You just want to take regular pencils to travel. You can take these, and that's all you really need. So so there's these, and this is 50 colors. So you can take something like this. I also got this from a fan, and I haven't gotten a chance to really play with it. I played with them a little bit, and I really did like it. I did some swatching, and I played with it just a little bit, and I really did enjoy this. So you can take Intense Block because you can just use a water brush, and you can use that, and then you can make art. So you don't need to take a set of like 24. You can do like a set of 12. So that's another option that you can do if you want to take to travel. Now, if you want to go all out, you can take a full set. So let's say in this case, you want to take a full set of, hold on, I'm setting that aside. If you want to take, like, if you want to go crazy and you want to take all 72 Inktense or all 120 Albrecht, you can totally do that. One thing that I've learned when I went to Yosemite 2 years ago, and I only took the 60 set, is that if the set is too big, it becomes a little bit of a hassle to take it out. And so for me, I personally wouldn't do it to something like Yosemite, but if you have somewhere where you're going to have a little bit more space to sort of set a place, you may want to take something like a full set of something like this. But for me, going to Yosemite, where I'm not really going to be laying out, I'm going to be mostly doing like plain air, like going outside and coloring or doing stuff outside. I'm probably not going to take this. This is probably too much to set up and to take out, so I'm probably not going to do this. But it is an option. Now, what's fascinating is that this is around about the same size, but if I take watercolor pencils, then this is probably what I will take, mainly because it has these clasps, so everything is in place. It has that paper cover, but also because it's a one-stop shop and everything is here. You got your pencils here. You got a second tray of pencils, but you don't need to have both trays up at the same time. You got your pencil for sketching. You got your 2 kinds of erasers. And then what I was doing when I was taking this to Starbucks actually is I was taking this out using my water brush, like a regular water brush, something like this, and then just putting a few drops of water in there and using that to sketch, because watercolor pencil doesn't really use that much water. So you can take something like this, and I did a whole video on this. If you want to take something like this, this is also a really good idea. And despite the fact that this is kind of the same size as the other one, because you have fewer pencils, this doesn't really weigh as much as the 120. So so if I take watercolor pencils, then this is probably going to be the setup that I will take with me. So that's watercolor pencils. All right. So so there's that. So now we're going to go over to a few other things. Hold. One more thing is you can also do something like this. Like, you don't have to actually buy a set of 12. You can just take a tin that you got for whatever you had, and then you can just put whatever pencils you want to take, and then you can just, pick out 12, or you can take a set of 12 and just do something like this. I found the set of 24 to be really fun for the dry pencils. So that's what I'm going to do. I got this brush from a fan. It came in a set of 3, and I really absolutely love this. Thank you so much. I think when you sent this, you didn't it didn't have your name on there, but thank you so much, mystery fan, for sending this to me, because I have really enjoyed this. I actually thought I didn't like water brushes, but I have been taking this out, especially the size 1 and 2, and really enjoying this. This is a new one that just came out by Faber Castell, and I think I bought this week, and I paid $7.99 for it, and I'm not sure that I like it any better than the other ones. I did realize that it has this cap that snaps in there, but then after I did it with this one, I realized that the Derwent one also does that. So if you're gonna take watercolor medium, as much as I prefer to use real brushes, this is really nice when you're like out there in the woods, which is where I might end up being at some points, in the actual woods. So so something like this, water brushes, and there'll be a link to both of these down in the description. All right, so then we only got 2 more things left. I really like, this isn't the set of 12 Albrecht. I really like this set of 24 Faber-Castell Polychromos. Now what I did here is I took out the white and I put in another purple. And I took out I think one of the reds or something, and I put in another brown. So that's a change that I made to this set. But you know, a set of 24 pencils, you can take it, and I've taped my color swatch sheet here so that this is really easy to travel with. I'm not sure if I'm taking dry pencils, but if I take them, these are going to be the set of dry pencils that I take. However, you can also do something like take the 120 Polychromos set, or I did get this from Derwent to review, and I will do a review when I come back. You can take something like a 36 tin. The benefit of taking something like a set of 36 is that there's only one tray, so there's a lot less to move around and stuff like that. So that's an option if you want to do that and you want to take more colors. You can do the set of 36. I also have the travel set of 36 from the Faber-Castell, and I'll give a link to it down below. I didn't really find the travel set to be worth the money. I definitely would have preferred to get a tin of 36. So and then you don't have to do this. You can get like any one of some cases, and I'll give a link to it in the description below, of some of the Global Arts cases that you can use for traveling if you want to take dry pencils and you want to take a lot, but you don't want to take them in the original tins. You can take them in one of those Global Art cases. All right, so we only have 2 more things to go. We're almost at the end. This is part of the reason why I feel like the other tip I have is to think about what supplies you're going to take when you travel way more than 3 days before, like I did. Because one thing that I realized with this is I realized that I didn't want to take all of these, but it would have been nice to have, and I don't have anywhere to store them in, and I don't have time to like figure out what colors I like best, is to just take like 12 or 6 of these and to just like map out. And I haven't spent enough time with them to really decide which colors would be the ones that I would take. So I really wish that I had thought about potentially taking markers with me, because markers are nice and fast, and you can work up with markers much faster than you can with dry pencils. And you know, when you're traveling, time is also a price, so you don't want to spend too much time, you know, looking in your coloring books or whatever. So this is an option too, is to take markers. And I like these because they do a good job of not bleeding through, unlike the Copics. But this is a large set, and I'm not going to take this whole set. But I wish I had thought about it more, because then I would have been able to pick out what colors I wanted to take with me. But what I probably will do when I come back is I will probably take the grays with me to go out urban sketching, and I'll probably just pull them out of the set and take them with me to go out like urban sketching in New York City. So there's that. And then there's only one more thing to do, to talk about, is these 2, both of which I have, hold on, let me get a little bit closer. Both of which I have reviewed. This got a little dusty. This is the portable painter, and this one comes with this one comes with 2 cups. Now, I like this, but what I didn't like is that, unlike the and I still haven't filled that last color, unlike something like the like a metal tin. This doesn't really have a protector, so I have been, it hasn't happened, but I have been afraid of like water from here getting into the thing. So as much as I like this for short distance travel, for something like going all the way to Yosemite, I probably am not gonna take this with me, sad to say, for going out all the way to Yosemite, just because even though it's all in, you know, it's all in order and it's all neat, and if I had taken care of my brush would be in here, probably not going to take it with me. Instead, what I'm going to take is, I'm probably going to take this. This is my set of Sennelier. It was originally a set of 12, but I squeezed in 2 more paints, and I'm probably going to take this. This has 3 greens and 2 browns, although I think I changed the brown out. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I put in a different brown that I like better than the warm sepia. And this will be perfect for painting over while I'm at Yosemite. There's a little bit enough to make some flowers, and you know, this is like a perfect set to take to go out there. So this is probably what I'm going to take, and I did do a video on this. If I can remember which one it was, I'll do a link to it. So this is probably what I'm going to take. So I'm going to pause for a few minutes, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you pretty much exactly what I'm going to take. I'm almost 100% certain. All right, I think I made my choices, and I hope that by recording them on tape, I'm going to force myself to take this and only this. All right, so here we go. Let me go from left to right. Okay, so I am taking these 3 water brushes. I'm taking just the water brushes, and I will hopefully be able to refill this every night, and hopefully won't use up all the water that they hold in just one day. These 2 seem to hold more water than this just because they're heavier. Yeah, I think this holds more water, but it might be just because of the shape, but I'm pretty sure this holds more water. So I'm going to take all 3 brushes. I am going to take the Sennelier paints because I really like them, and they're easy to work, and they're really like no muss, no fuss. And I have a pretty easy time getting what I want out of these paints. So this is probably what I'm going to take. So not probably, this is definitely what I'm going to take. I got to stop saying probably. This is definitely what I'm going to take. So that
I want to cut into my own video to say that I changed my mind. I'm taking the Daniel Smith instead of the Sennelier, just because they're more vibrant and they're a little bit faster re-wetting. So I'm thinking of, like, you know, being in a rush or whatever. And I got this green apatite from my friend Denise at In Liquid Color, and I'll give you a link to her channel down below. And so this is going to be the colors that I'm going to take, but it's going to be the same form factor. I just moved these out of the portable painter and put this on this random mini palette that I got from Jackson's a while back. So I'm actually just going to take this out instead. And last thing is, I also forgot to mention that you could just take whatever pencils or whatever you want and just put them in a plastic bag, which is what my friend Amy would do. So that's another way to travel. All right, I will see you guys when I come back.
And then for paper, I am definitely taking the Urban Sketchbook, because like I said, I want to do as much towards the sketchbook as humanly possible, and I'm going to try to sketch as much as possible while I'm there. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to take this watercolor block. It says 15 sheets bound on 2 edges, and I have already taken 1 out, so I'm not going to do any more on this to have as much of those 15 sheets. Now 14 sheets left, so I will have 14 sheets to sketch, in addition to this notebook here. I am going to take this just because I think that if I went over there and I wanted to do something and I didn't have this, I would really regret it. So I'm going to finish this apple sketch, and they look funny because they were originally going to be peaches, and then I decided at the last minute to change it to apples, so that's kind of why they look that way. But anyway, so I'm going to finish these 2 while I'm here, and then I'm going to take this and then just, like, you know, just soak these up with the Sennelier paint, and then go nuts with these, and, you know, really give this a test for its money. So that's that. Like I said, I'm taking this sharpener. It doesn't need a new blade, but probably like the night before, I will put in a new blade just to be on the safe side, because I do not think I will be able to take blades with me. I can use this other end to sharpen the pencils, but they will give me a more blunt end, and I definitely don't want that. And I will be taking this just because it's traveled so well in all the times I've taken it to Starbucks, and I don't really need a lot of space to open it up. I actually ended up opening it up and using it at a park bench to just do a test, and it was super easy to do even at a park bench. So and it's a lot of colors. It's a relatively fast medium. It's a lot faster than colored pencil, so I don't have to, you know, sit there doing layer after layer after layer really, really slowly, so I can get a lot done. So that's ultimately what I'm going to take, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. This video will probably go live either while I'm away or right when I come back, so that'll be something interesting. So by the time this video goes live, I will actually probably most likely be back, so but it is what it is. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later, and thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the cute video of Stewie. All right, bye.